No, I think it should be. Give me a second. Streaming live. Facebook. Okay, gentlemen, we are live.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. We are going to discuss about the scope of computer science and engineering in post-pandemic society. So now I would like to introduce our speakers, today's speakers. So first we have Mr. Vikash Sharma. He is B.Tech in computer science and engineering from IIT Kharagpur and MBA from IIM Bangalore. He is co-founder, VP Business Development, Energy and IT Technologies Private Limited. He has 21 years of industry experience. His technical venture is creating cutting-edge IoT security products for school and transport segment. Prior to entrepreneurial stint, he has worked in IT sector with companies like Mindtree, Aztec, IGate, and play multiple delivery and business roles in India and abroad. We also have Mr. Soikat Pari. He is the assistant professor of OmDayal Group of Institutions, Computer Science and Engineering Department. He's M.Tech from Calcutta University, and he has about 13 years of teaching experience. His research area is machine learning and computer vision. Then myself, Dipankar Hazra, I am also assistant professor of Computer Science and Engineering Department, OmDayal Group of Institutions. Now, I passed B from Computer Science and Engineering from Jadavpur University and M.Tech from the same university. And I have also 18 years of teaching experience and my specialization in object recognition. So now we are going to start the webinar. So we have we'll discuss about some scope of computer science and engineering. So this is a different situation, means we are living in a different situation. So we are thinking in a different way. So the computer science of engineering will remain same or it will be different. So that we are going to discuss. What will be the demand of the software professional after this, in the post-pandemic society? How the student will prepare themselves. The subject will be same. The teaching learning method will be same. So these are we will be going to discuss one by one. So now I first start with Mr. Vikash Sharma. So please tell me about something in impact of COVID-19 on IT industry. What is its challenges and what are the opportunities related to this?
Thanks, Dipankar ji. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be part of this webinar. So definitely this COVID has thrown a lot of normal processes haywire. But how this will be, impacting in the short term, in medium term, in the long term, especially for the computer science professionals, and so that would be, a very interesting question for me. See, the thing is, whatever be the field, whatever be the sector today, the way things are shaping up, or the way they look to be in next 2-3 months, or in the coming year, everything points out that the computer science will become much and more entrenched for everybody. Today, everybody, you must be seeing this migrant problem. So there's a lot of problem coming because of people. Now, what is the substitute for people? So it will be more machine, more learning, more automation, and much more of electronic gadgets that will be needed so that the environment is safer. They are able to work in a safer workspace. So the consumption of IT will be increasing tremendously. The whole world is starting to look for options for working from home. So a lot of things will be happening from home, because many of the companies, even like say TCS, is saying that 75% of their workforce will work from home by 2025. So a huge change in the way IT works will happen. So again, for enabling that people are as productive as they are at office, there will be again a whole lot of innovation that will be going into that space to make people work from home. And even the people who are going to office to work, again, for them, there will be a lot of changes, at least for next 1.5 years, till when, we are not fully done with this pandemic, till we don't have a vaccine that can safely keep us away from it. Till then, there will be a lot of changes in the office working. There will be, you'd have already seen a lot of thermal scanners coming into place. People are talking about a tunnel in which people can pass through, and they will be sprayed with some kind of disinfectant and all. So all those things will also take a completely new leap. And for the industries, what is happening is now they are seeing that they need to do more automation, because if the crisis like this hits, they are left with no choice. So today, even when the government has ordered that the industry should reopen, now they don't have people to work on it. So the whole supply chain is disrupted. Now how do they can work? So now definitely when the things reopen, people will be spending more time on ensuring that even if some kind of crisis comes, people are still well prepared to take care of it, and everything will lead to more automation. That means more and more technology entrenchment for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vikash Sharma. My next question to Mr. Soikat Pahadi. So, how a B.Tech student will cope himself with the present situation?
Yeah, actually, we are going through a very tense and tense situation. We are worried very much about this, and we are waiting for a day when everything will be normal. But we don't know anything that when the situation will be normal. Right now, we are staying at home for the last couple of months. We are staying at home. Last we visited our college, I can remember it was March 20, like this 2021. So after that, we are staying at home. Colleges basically stopped due to this pandemic. The state government, the central government has to stop everything actually. But the thing is that though we are in home, we have not stopped our education at all. The day the college stopped, or I can say closed, we have started our learning process just day after that particular day. So the learning process is going on virtually. It is in digital mode now. We are taking our classes on the regular basis. Students are also attending the classes. But the thing is that whether this particular mode is capable enough or able to make a student technically sound, or I can say that totally complete, whether they will be a complete engineer by going through this mode of education. Now, before going to it, I just want to say one thing, that a Times of India survey that was done by the 2018, they revealed that the education system is basically what the change in the education system from classroom teaching to online teaching. It is not very old. For example, if we talk about MOOC, Massive Online Open Courseware, the first MOOC in the Asia that was developed by Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, that was in the year of 2014. So only 6 years back, we have passed from where we have started our actually digital mode of learning. Now in India also, if we think about digital learning, the NPTEL, that is the National Program for Technology and Enhanced Learning by IIT, and also MOOC or SWAYAM courseware by the IIT and other institutes and universities also. That was also not very old. That we mainly so NPTEL is a little bit older than MOOC. It started from 2003 or 4, but the certification course they have started only from 2014. So overall, we can say that the digital mode of learning is not very old. If we compare with industry, the work from home culture in the industry, it's not a new issue. They actually the IT industry mainly. IT industry is what it is, the virtual industry. The office premises are physical, but the product they are producing is entirely virtual thing. So it doesn't matter whether the customer is staying 10 miles away or billions of 1,000 miles away. Okay, it doesn't matter. But it matters in the education system whether the student is sitting in front of a teacher. The teacher can see a student, whether or the attitude of the student, by seeing or by watching the attitude of a student, a teacher can understand how much a student is getting the point. But the thing is that it's not same that whether a student is sitting in front of him or a student is sitting miles away from him. We cannot watch a student. But still, the thing is that the situation is basically forcing us to cope with this situation. We have to cope this. We are basically practicing this. Our students are attending the classes. Everything is going on. But the thing is that whether just I said that whether this way is able, we will be able to make a student technically sound in all aspects. That is the question. Now, in all aspects means what do we mean actually? Technically sound, to make a student technically sound, there are some points to be covered. One is that to make a student the skill, the problem solving skill, to be to enrich the problem solving skill, to enrich the analytical skills, and to enrich the communication skill also. Okay, because communication skill is associated with all these issues. Because if we don't understand our customer, then we will not be able to understand the problem properly. And communication is one of the main way to understand the customer, to understand the problem. If you don't understand the problem, then we will be not able to solve the problem. So the first thing is to be a good problem solver, to understand the problem. That is the thing. And here I want to mention one thing. It's my practical experience from our college education system or college life, that whenever we do some experiments in our lab, we have seen that 30% of the students are unable to understand what the actual problem is. Now, if anybody don't understand the problem, then it will not possible for anybody to meet the goal or to reach to the proper solution. So that is the one problem, that 30% of them are unable to do this. And next, at the next level, the 70% who are able to understand what is to do actually. Then the next 70%, among them we have seen that 20% are unable to form the proper logic to solve it. So that is the second step. Okay. Now, whoever have solved this, that means can reach up to second level. Rest 10% are unable to implement it. So these are the three levels, and not all the students can very much efficient in all three levels. So only 30% or near about 40% they can understand the problem clearly. They can formulate a logic or develop a logic for it, and they can implement for it. So to focus on these issues, what we have done earlier, pre-COVID era or situation, what we have done, we have started some new problem. We have actually introduced some new problems in our lab, which are not in their in actual curriculum. So, and we repeatedly we tell them to solve this kind of problem stepwise, so that they will be more efficient in their problem solving skills and also analytical skills. And next, regarding the communication, also we have various lot of classes that we have introduced. Now in this situation, we are also doing the same process. We are going through the same process. We are doing the labs. We are taking the labs properly, and also we are giving them assignments so that they can do this, and they will be able to be a good problem solver. And the next thing that I want to say is that the technical courses that was introduced by the IITs and universities like NPTEL, MOOC, and this is actually the situation where the students should enroll more and more this kind of courses, because a lot of students are there who are basically technically sound and analytical good also. But if they take proper guidance, if they get proper guidance, then I think they will be more good or enrich their technical skills. So this is a good time. I already asked a lot of my students, or also I will tell others also that this is a high time, because we should take the opportunity of this lockdown period. We should not get frustrated. We should take the opportunity, get more and more enrolled with these online courses, take the certificate. Obviously, time will come when this certificate will give you more mileage in your career. Okay, thanks. Thank you. This is all.
Thank you, Mr. Soikat Purari. I want to add something. That means this digital education. What I think that this digital education may not be the substitute for this one-to-one education or just offline mode. This actually, but it can be added. It will be an extra weapon, we can say, for the student, that just classroom-based teaching will be going on, and we can add this online learning method. So combination of this both, so will make the student more helpful. Means they will learn more things. Means by going to the classroom and also learning from the online. So this combination will be more helpful. Mr. Vikash Sharma, do you want to add anything in this matter?
No, absolutely. I totally agree. Though this COVID has pushed us a lot more to get into digital learning, but in a way this will be ultimately helpful for the students, because this is giving another mode, another channel to push the right content, and teachers can utilize this medium to engage students probably in some more things that they cannot do at schools and colleges, and they have to that's just another mode of doing things. But of course nothing can replace the one-to-one or the experience of a college, because in college it's not only about learning, it's more about creating memories, creating friendship, creating a lot of other bonds that help you take you through a whole life. So all those things cannot be replicated, but yes, now when we have no other option of reaching them, at least they have a way in at least in this internet era and laptop era, that they can continue reading and learning from many sources. And many of as Professor Saikat also shared, that there are a lot of resources available from many places, and if they're properly guided by the professors, probably they can make good use of it and come out of COVID learning a lot of stuff.
Thank you. So our next question to Mr. Vikash Sharma. So actually, so demand of the software professional in post-COVID-19. So this will be increased, or this will be reduced, or like that?
Okay. Good question. See, the thing is, the immediate impact, when the whole world is going through a complete recession, and every industry is going through a deep churn, so immediately for, let's say, 4 to 6 months, 8 months maybe, there will be some reduction, because there are a lot of startups who have started, many of them are going to fail, there are many smaller industries will fail, so there will be little bit of churn over there. But again, the things will again start to pick up, because as I earlier said, the demand for IT is going to stay, and people will start picking up the pieces once they are going to as of now, the challenge is nobody knows how deep the impact will be, how long this will last. So once those things start becoming clearer, people will have a much more firmer plans, and definitely IT enhancement and making things more IT enabled will be the key goal for all of them. Like I'll just give you a basic simple example. Spencer's as a store, they were mostly brick and mortar stores before this whole pandemic happened. But as soon as this happened and they realized that people cannot come to their stores, very quickly they ramped up their whole operations, and they are doing a lot more digital today. So that is a realization that many other companies will also have. today, let's say many of the malls, they are closed. They don't have any way, any channel that people will come to them and they'll sell their goods. But let's say that there'll be virtual mall tomorrow. Somebody will create those virtual malls that you can just go to any of those malls virtually and buy something. So those things, pardon me, those things will start coming up. So probably after 6 to 8 months, things will again start increasing, and people who are definitely good, who are doing good, and if they do get laid off, they will find many new avenues and many more exciting avenues to work on.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Soikat Pahadi, the areas of importance for B.Tech computer science and engineering student means which area, which subject area they should emphasize, okay, which they will learn more.
Yeah, Mr. Sharma has actually rightly said that today malls are stop basically, but maybe tomorrow the virtual malls will come. Today the shopping may be stopped, but online shopping will start. Already it is started. So tomorrow is basically the day of IT. IT will sustain, obviously, it will be the core brand one. Now, among this IT, there are some, if you are asking about the subjects or mainly the topic, which will be more important in coming days post pandemic situation. Now, before going to that, I want to mention one sector where IT is doing well now. That is the healthcare sector. Because today, healthcare sector is basically demanding for or asking for information always. It's a dynamic sector and it's taking decision every time. It's changing its decision, taking new decisions depending upon the information that it is gathering. Now, IT can do a lot of things over here, and also it is doing. We can remember some days before, the scientists have predicted that whether a continuous lockdown will be beneficial or a divided lockdown will be beneficial. So they have done this utilizing some mathematical models, some AI models, okay, artificial intelligence models. So basically, information technology, or I can say computer science branches like machine learning, like artificial intelligence is basically doing a good job now. And also, we can predict a lot of issues today. For example, if we can gather information from a cluster of infected area, and from this information, analyzing this information using some applications of AI, machine learning, data analytics, analyzing this, we can predict that whether this particular infected area or the cluster will grow or will diminish. And if it grows, then what will be the rate of the growth? And what will be the next cluster area? So this we can predict using our mathematical model that we study in artificial intelligence, in machine learning, in big data analytics, all those. So I think these are the subjects or the areas of computer science that will grow in future, and obviously it will sustain in future. Post pandemic, we will waiting for that day when everything will be normal, and computer science students will do good job over this area. Thank you.
Thank you. So my next question to Mr. Vikash Sharma: how artificial intelligence and Internet of Things, then data science will help society in pandemic situation? How this technology will help us in the pandemic situation?
Sure. So, just going back to the previous question, so, some of the other things that we'd like to add to whatever Professor Pahadi said. So, this whole SMAC is still not done, right? The social, mobile, analytics, and cloud is still not, we have not got all the benefits of it. So still there will be a lot of development going on in that. Along with that, this whole big data, your, machine learning, artificial intelligence, the whole field of this augmented and virtual reality, Internet of Things. Now, these are all areas which will be, further enhanced as we go along, because things to, let's say, I'll give you an example. Like if an industry wants to automate some of its stuff, like let's say all the manufacturing industries today are, in a double whammy. They were stopped for quite some time, and now they are starting their, they don't have workers. So how do they work? Now, a whole lot of automation has to go to replace a worker and do things in a, safe way and productive way. So they will go, use a lot of Internet of Things. What Internet of Things means is a lot of sensors which will make some sense and, substitute a human presence over there and do in a very proper manner. We already are seeing, in this just post-COVID, a lot of things are coming, a lot of innovations from these fields are coming. Let's say very recently I saw somebody developing a hospital cleaning machine, which is like automated and which will automatically go and clean everywhere on the hospital. Now it is working using all these kind of sensors. Where is the obstacle, how far is the obstacle, how can it get around it, and how it can, how dirty it is and where it should go and stuff like that. So a lot of things are already happening in that. Artificial intelligence, it has to continuously keep on increasing, continuously solving, becoming closer and closer to the human intelligence, so that only then it can start replacing the humans in certain areas. And we need certain areas humans have to leave. Some of the hazardous areas which humans are today doing, let's say garbage cleaning or sewage cleaning, and there are a lot of areas where we don't need humans to work, because they are really making them sick. So there will be a lot more automation over there, automation in every other sphere as well, using this AI, your data analytics, your big data, Internet of Things. So all those things are poised to take a very big leap post-COVID, because all the industries will be looking for two major things: A, to decrease the cost, and B, to increase their overall sales, or overall rather profitability. Actually, sales is just one indicator, but overall profitability should be more. So they can get help from these technologies. Only then they will be able to meet those goals actually.
Thank you. So we have actually means our curriculum is there for the B.Tech computer science engineering students. So Mr. Soikat Pari, means do you think that this curriculum is enough to students? So we get, after 4 years we are getting a complete B.Tech engineer. He can work for in industry, or this some change is required for this curriculum?
Actually, this already we have discussed several times in our college, also in our various discussion forum or college meeting, outside college meeting, university board curriculum or syllabus committee meeting. There we have discussed about these things. The thing that we have or we have worked that there is a difference between the university curriculum and outside university exams mainly. I'm coming to the industry aspect later, but if we think about the other exam which a particular student appears after getting out or passing out the B.Tech level, so there is a huge gap. What the gap is actually is the university curriculum mostly focus on basically theorem proving or lemma proving like this. So it's more memorization type of thing. People should memorize more and more thing, and you will write it all over. Now the expectation from a student from the outside university area, that is maybe the GATE exam, NET exam, PSU exam, or other competitive exams, they are more analytic. They are basically want to know how much the concept of a particular student is clear. So they are not going to prove whether to prove a theorem from a student or not. They are not going to tell the student that you have to memorize this formula or like that. But they are asking that whether you can solve this using the concept that you have gathered. So this difference should be bridged, I think so. So that's why we have already requested our university that the question level should be more analytical. less memorization. Okay, so that student can the concept of the student, concept of a topic over a topic of a particular student, that should be more clear. That is one issue. And the next issue is that industry aspect. What industry expects from a student? Actually, the industry, at the end of the day, industry wants the deliverability. So how much a student is deliverable at all. And for that, he must be good in problem solving aspects that we have already, I have told. So for that, we already mentioned, I have already mentioned that whatever we have done in our curriculum, some little bit changes that we have done, some experiments also that we have done, extra that we have introduced, that will enrich our students, I think. So that are the things that I think, so the changes to be done by the university, I think.
I think university is already doing some changes in the already have done some changes in the curriculum, and it's also our responsibility, that means faculty responsibility, to change the question pattern, at least in the internal question pattern that we are doing means for our papers. So if we change the question pattern analytically, not giving the some memorization type of question, then it will be helpful to student to know the subject better.
Yeah.
So Mr. Vikash Sharma, do you want to add anything? Means how the students will become the industry ready? That means how. So we are teaching. We have a pressure on. We have to complete the syllabus. We are also giving them project. We are making the. We have teaching them lab how to solve the experiment or solve the programs like that. But do you have any other suggestion that student will become industry ready? Means that teachers can help them, and they can do also themselves also. Means they can try at their home of its own.
Sure. What industry today expects, and the way the expectations are increasing even pre-COVID world, is that industry expects that when the students come on board, they already are good enough to be absorbed in some or other projects. They just needed to be given some domain knowledge, whichever domain they are going to work on. So that's the best case industry expertise. Earlier there used to be almost 3 months, 4 months long induction programs where students will be put through different kind of trainings all through 3-4 months, and after 3-4 months they will be put into some or other projects, and it will be a learning project, then they will be put into the real project, and so on and so forth. So it used to be a very long drawn things, much before pre-COVID also. So already industry is going through a shortening it hugely, and their expectations are again increasing from academic world, is that whenever students come on board, immediately from day one they should become productive. I'll give them 10 days of say banking related domain training, and they are productive. Now that's where as Professor Pahadi was saying, and you're also saying, so there has to be some changes on the university side. And interestingly, you talked about the application of concepts versus the concepts themselves. So I feel I've studied in IIT, I've studied in IIM. I also got a fortunate chance to study in Barcelona for one semester on an exchange thing, and that was a huge difference. There they were more concerned about how to use the concept, where this concept could be used. What are the, because many of the things which are derived, they come with a lot of bells and whistles, that assumption this, assumption that. We don't bother about those assumptions. Here we try to solve it, try to prove it, and we are much more on those kind of things. And we forget totally about all the assumptions around it and where they could be used. So they were very, very focused on that aspect, and that was their way of teaching, and they were doing good actually. Now, for university, for a college to become make their students more future ready, you rightly talked about that they need to get better hang of problem solving, they need to get better hang of creativity, innovation. Now some of these aspects are not so easy to teach, right? Problem solving is one thing where people can be taught, and they could be, kind of infrastructurally taught, and in every semester they learn a bit more about how to do problem solving, design thinking, so on and so forth. Now, how do they become ready? Most of the times I feel, that's my personal opinion, that people get a very part by part problem, right? Let's solve one part of the problem, and that's where their learning stops. Now, where they can use that problem and where it actually is fitting in the practical real world, they are not getting that kind of insight. So, and we are not doing enough. I feel that we're not doing enough of real world problem solving. It could be make a small flip card, but when you start doing end to end flip card, then you will realize that what is the challenge or flip card has solved, and how you can do so many other things. You can learn a lot of other things and putting them together, because if you learn only one part of it but you cannot put it together with other stuff to make it fully valuable, that's where you lack some knowledge. So I think it has to be more projects and full end-to-end kind of project that every student has to do. Few projects overall in this 4 years. It could be that the project starts in the first year itself or second year itself, it continues till 4 years, and you keep on adding more and more features, more and more complexity to that project. But it has to be that everybody has to do complete end-to-end, not solving just one part of it and be happy with it, getting the grades of it, and not knowing the full problem and solving it fully.
Thank you. Now a question from the audience, that how much opportunities will come to a fresher after this pandemic situation? And another one is that this is from Tanmoy Pramanik Sonu. Is it good and possible to opt for a CSE course in government college? Also, how can anybody go for any different CSE courses? So
I can say that to get admission in a government college, only the JEE rank is required. So if you have good rank or cut-off rank properly, then obviously you can get admission in any government college. There are 6 government colleges. There were 6 government colleges in West Bengal, 2 newly introduced colleges. So total 8 government colleges are there, and some universities, Jadavpur, Besu is now Central University, Raja Science College, Calcutta University. So these are the colleges. If you have a good rank in your JEE, obviously you can get admitted there. Okay. For the first question, that is, what is the chance of the job opportunity, you can say. Now, for the job opportunity, already Mr. Sharma has explained it properly. I can say that the most important or the MNCs, the popular MNCs like TCS or other MNCs, they have already declared that there will be no layoff. There will be no layoff due to this pandemic. So job opportunity will be there, and they will cut their costs using various other methods, like they will not use their extra properties, I think, which are already rented. They are taken using rented, and they are paying a huge amount of rent for those properties. And if they cut down the cost due to this, if they cut down 35% of cost, and that employees who are basically using that area, they will be work from home. So using this way, they are cutting down their expenses. So it is not worried about the employees. And obviously in future, IT industry will be growing. But for some days, maybe the situation is worried, because the most of the IT clients are from US and Europe, and those areas are usually affected. I don't know how much new clients can be joined by the IT industry over those areas. So this is a concern issue. But after some days, IT will be obviously enriching, because what we have discussed, the areas from healthcare to banking to mall, everywhere IT will be only the area which can service. properly. So that is the issue, and that much I can say. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So another question from Tanmoy Pramanik Sonu, that is, can you please say something CSE courses, please? So CSE related courses, actually computer science and engineering, CSE related CSE courses. So mainly B.Tech and computer science and engineering is there. So you can study. And another question from Lopamudra Palodi is there, how can one take admission to these CSE courses? So actually for these CSE courses, mainly for B.Tech computer science and engineering courses, so some joint entrance examination is there. So one is JEE main is there. So student has to pass the JEE main. So there to then he or she has to pass the class 12 science. He or she should have the subject of mathematics, physics and chemistry. So he has to pass the class 12 and he has to clear the JEE main exam. And if he wants to get chance to a IIT or NEET or this type of government engineering colleges, like central government engineering colleges, so they have to sit for this JEE advanced examination. So you can and clear this examination. Okay, so you can go to their official site for JEE main, like jeimain.nta.nic.in. Similarly for JEE advanced, for getting IIT, for IIT aspirants, www.jeeadvanced.ac.in. And there is also West Bengal joint is there. So for the engineering college under MACOUT. So if you want to get admission to this one, you can sit this JEE main. You can also go through this West Bengal joint entrance examination, and you have to get through mathematics and physics and another subject like computer science or chemistry or biotechnology. You have to clear this subject, and you have minimum 45% of marks you have to get to getting this computer science and engineering courses. And now, how about computer science and engineering courses for general? That for first year courses, so most of them, for most of the engineering courses are same. This we have to learn for the first year students have to learn from basic science course, some communications course like communications course, then basic science course like physics, chemistry, mathematics, like that. From second year, different stream, so different types of subject will be there. For computer science, different types of subjects are there. So we have to discuss some subject here like Internet of Things, artificial intelligence. So we have named this one. Then data analytics. So these are the some subject, and some basic subjects are there like computer organization, architecture, some programming in C, programming in Java. So you have to study this subject for 4 years. So in the first year, you have science and English subject. Now, another question, how the IT industry evolving in this COVID situation, how students can stay relevant. Okay, so Mr. Vikash Sharma already answered this one. So please one more time, sir. So how the IT industry evolving in the COVID situation, how the student can stay relevant? This from Abir Sinha.
So, it's challenging for every industry, and, when IT industry is serving all those industries, so definitely, the ripple effect is IT industry also gets affected. I saw another question that, whole travel and hospitality and some other industries are, seeing so huge churn, and also definitely, all those are impacting IT industries significantly. And many of the projects which are, which were yet to start, or which were supposed to start in April, May, and all, they're all being delayed, because nobody as of now wants to invest your money. So discretionary amount spending is going down. But again, as I said that there are two ways of IT, you can see the usage of it. One is that some part of it will be helping in reducing the cost. Other part of it will be helping in getting more customers and hence more income. So, whichever things are going to impact in those manner, those projects have to continue. So either they reduce costs or they help in increasing the customer base. and the competition is not dying, so competition is going to become fiersome, right? If the whole number of dollars is going to go down which people are going to spend, then people who are fighting for it are increasing. Then unless you have a better product, you have a better placement, you have a better pricing, you are going to lose to your competitors. So given everything, there will be some projects which will go down, but it is not like gloom and doom that all the projects will be closed, because IT is an enabler today, and without it, the companies will suffer even more. In fact, people like Warren Buffett, who were not so much more critical about IT much earlier. Now they are, more into online with it, on board with it, that people are going to use IT more and more. So that will definitely happen. Now, how should students stay relevant? Or as I said, there are some hot areas, and those hot areas will remain hot for the foreseeable time. And definitely more and more newer things will keep getting added to it. So you can stay relevant by studying, and studying not only at the superficial level, but getting deeper into it. So getting that understanding that what fits where and why. So if you get that kind of knowledge and into these hot areas, I think there will be never a dearth of opportunities for you. If you stay at a superficial level, if you just show your degree that I've got this degree, the degree will get lesser and lesser importance going forward. What you can do, how you can solve things will become more and more important. So degree will just open a door for you, but how deep certain technologies, and as I said, that more and more work will keep on happening in, say, the areas which you talk, like say artificial intelligence, or analytics, or big data, or machine learning and stuff like that. And if you know things about it, if you can do say mobile app development, or all those kind of things, you will always have opportunities, and you will get opportunities to serve many IT companies, or even startups for that matter.
Yeah, so another one from Abhishina, the same audience, that as per my knowledge, most of the travel and hospitality projects going on hold or going away as there are no business. So how to address this issue, as these are very challenging situation for the industry itself? So Mr. Vikash Sharma means
Yeah. I'll add to it. So he's right. So the questioner is right. There is a challenge in some of the industries more than others. So because all the aviation is completely stopped, and nobody even knows when he or she will travel. So what one can think about travel and leisure and stuff like that. So even business travel will go down significantly, because now when people are staying at home for 2 months, they have found Zoom, and they have found other ways of communication, and many of the non necessary travels will be curbed down. So ultimately they will further affect the travel and tourism industry. So yes, as I said, though these will affect, and some industries will be more affected in this short term, but there will be some other industries who will pick up. Like, let's say currently this whole online education industry is booming, so some other industries will take some of the load. There'll be a huge kind of addition in, let's say, insurance industry, because insurance industry, the general insurance has almost picked up 90% of their premiums. So there will be a lot more insurance, newer interesting products coming up. A lot of work going on banking, finance, insurance industry. So some of these churn, some of these reduction in projects will be offsetted over there. And again, tourism and travel industry is again something which is probably going through a downhill today, but it has to come up because it supports a huge number of people. And already governments in places like, let's say, Europe, Western Europe, they are already pumping in money to keep this tourism industry alive. So they will not let it die, because it's a huge money spinner. So it made, as I said, that for next, say, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, there will be some downturn, but again things will start picking up from there, because people will find newer ways, people will find ways to utilize those resources. And of course, for all these new things, since the whole thing has changed, the whole business model will change. So again, the whole IT new development will have to come to compensate that, and utilize those newer business models. So it cannot happen otherwise. So net, I think in next 6 to 8 months, things will be in much better shape. And overall, especially in IT industry and pharma industry will be the least impacted ones. Rest of the industries will take some longer time to come back, but these industries will come back much faster.
So,
to add one thing, I want to add one thing over here, that if people start going office tomorrow, then day after tomorrow they will start go to a vacation, because after a couple of months people will learn automatically how to stay with this virus. People will not stay in the home for a lifelong time. Okay, so if it stays, then people will also learn how to stay with it. So life will go obviously in its own way. Everything will be as it was, but maybe some more obviously changes. But people obviously the hospitality and the hotel industry will be there. The movie industry, that is also hampering. So everything will be as it is, but maybe some couple of months it will be hampered. Okay, that's all.
Mr. Sulkat Mahdi, another question this from Mr. Sudarshan Sil, that is there a big gap between private and government engineering college?
Oh, is there any big gap between private and government engineering college? The only gap is the rank. Only gap is the rank. If you have a good rank, then you can take admission there. But if you don't have, then you cannot. So, as per the syllabus, as per the curriculum is concerned, then we can say we are basically following the same thing, whatever going there, because we all are the students passing out from either Jadavpur or something like that. So we know what is going there. So we are following the same thing, what is going there, and we are also introduced already. We have said that we have introduced some new experiments, some new programs in our labs also to make you more and more programmatical skills or technical skills or analytical skills. So it is not a worry about that whether you are studying in a government college or a private college. Only thing is that the industry will see how much capability you have in terms of technical knowledge. Okay. So whether if you got say 9% and passed from a government college, and you got 7 points and passed from a private college, but still you will be you can reach to the top if you have a good analytical skill. I can mention several public like passing out from a private college like System Analyst from Manipal Institute. So that is also a private institute, but is the topmost boss of the Microsoft CEO. So you can go to the top if you have only proper skill, and that's what we are discussing here, that how to enrich your skill in terms of program, in terms of analytical, in terms of communication. So if you have all these skills, no matter from where you are passing out. And also we are providing campus interviews, in campus, off campus also. From the last couple of years, several pass-out students are the topmost IT companies, and they are getting not only one. If he or she is technically sound, he is getting more than one campus interview or place more than one company. So it is not a matter that whether you are studying in a government college or a private college, but only thing that you should be able enough or technically sound. Okay.
So actually more and more students from private engineering colleges are getting very good jobs from many private. So there are many private engineering colleges are there, and from each year many students are getting good jobs. Okay, so not only the government colleges, students are getting actually working in the good companies. Private engineering college students are also working in the good companies. Okay, they are getting jobs. So my another question is to Mr. Vikash Sharma, that the joining of many students delayed now. Okay, so now some students are going to pass out from the college. That means after 1 or 2 months there will be examination and they will be passed out. Their degree will be completed, but their joining is delayed. Some joining is cancelled. So what they will do, or what they will, how they can prepare themselves for this time?
Right. Yeah, so I saw that there is some joining going on. So some companies are actually having some virtual onboarding as well. So yeah, but there will be some companies who will delay it. There will be, whenever there is a crisis, there is some delays and other things. They are normal and natural. Uh, but the thing is, it also acts as an opportunity for the person. Uh, so whatever is the delay, he can make use of, he or she can make use of it and make himself better prepared for the industry. And also, he can also continue to search newer opportunities. So there will be opportunities also coming up. As I said, there will be some sunrise sectors. There are already, some of the other things. I saw many job openings also coming up, because some of the companies are ramping up very fast because they think that now is the time for them to really expand. So I'll suggest to students that whatever time they have, better to utilize it and become a better at whatever they are, whatever their skills are, whatever they think that the skills or the industry that they want to be in, better to prepare more and more. Good thing or bad thing, whatever you can say. Now a lot of people are opening up online courses. Many of the courses are free. I saw the National Digital Library free. IIT Kharagpur is providing a lot of resources. There are lots of things which are available today, and lots of courses that one can do online. So utilizing the space, remaining in the positive space. It's very important to remain positive, that things will turn out better, and working towards preparing, getting some newer skills which are hot and which can fetch you maybe more rewarding career. And keep a lookout, when that company is delayed, when the things will happen. So I'll suggest them to keep looking out what's happening, where are the opportunities coming, applying for it, because a lot of these interviews, a lot of these opportunities keep getting posted on Naukri or LinkedIn or a lot of other platforms. So they can keep looking at them and seeing that whether their skills are matching those skills, and keep applying, because whenever your job is delayed, it will come. But till then, if you get a better opportunity, why not? So keep trying. But very important is remaining in a very positive frame of mind, because if you are not very positive in your mind, it will affect your remain fit, remain healthy, remain in a best frame of mind actually. So just this time, bad time will go away, and you will get started with your career.
Thank you. So another question from audience. In my class 12, I did not have computer science. Can I go for computer science and engineering? Will it be easy for me? So actually, for means most of the students passed with mathematics, physics, and chemistry, taking this subject and then biology. So I think they don't have any problem to study the computer science and engineering. So one thing that we have to remember when we are studying for computer science engineering, that means in 4 years you have to study. Means if you study, you can easily grab computer science or engineering. And another I can say that in software engineering, in many companies, multinational companies, the software engineers are not from computer science and engineering. That's from electronics engineering, electrical engineering, from other streams. Students are also working as a software engineer. That means they are studying in other subject, and they can write the programs. So that means the student should have a good logic. If he or she have good logic, easily study computer science and engineering in B.Tech. So he or she don't have to study computer science in class 11, 12 or this lower class. So he or she can study computer science engineering. So another question is there from Mr. Sopon Mojumdar, that is, how is CSE of OmDayal Engineering College different from other colleges, and how does it help CSE student? Mr. Soikat.
Yeah, how CSE of OmDayal is different from other colleges. Actually, already we have discussed about this, that what we are doing in our curriculum, or what kind of changes we have done so far. I am just giving one example, that post-pandemic situation, or rather at the moment when the lockdown starts, we have started our class at the very moment, virtually or digitally. And not only that, we have started the project part also. In the project part, one of my projects is going with our students that how to make a biometric attendance system that will keeping in view the social distancing. That is, the biometric system that is already there in our college is the basically thumb impression, and where we need to touch the system every time. And if you think about the retina scanner, that there is close proximity between the device and your face. So keeping away how to take the attendance, that is one measure, and that is one issue that we are already studying and looking after that. We are discussing and we are developing some things using some Raspberry Pi microcontroller and how to do this. So that is one thing. Another thing, we are basically in a process to make a drone where the drone can detect that how much people are basically jotting down or grouping together. So that is another thing. So all these things are basically going on as a project with our students. And one of our students has already done one project, though that is not related with the pandemic area. That is a different how to take exam properly. And that will also be related, I can say, because tomorrow everything will be digital. So exam system will be digital. So how to take exam properly, or some AI concept, how to can we incorporate some AI concept over the area or in the exam system, so that from a pool of questions, how the questions can be distributed among the students properly, so that the exam will be in a more clear surface. So these are the things that we are going on in our virtual lab, I can say. So within due time, I think we will be able to complete all these things. And when the college will open, we can submit this. I think, if possible, we can do it.
Thank you. And now my last question is that what is the main message that you would like the audience to take away? This for both of you, Mr. Vikash Sharma first.
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Your voice was breaking.
What is the main message that you would like the audience to take away? What is the message for the audience from you?
Okay, so assuming that this is the audience for mainly the students who are planning or thinking about taking CSE as one of their choices, going forward. So I would definitely like to tell them that this branch has a lot of potential and will be one of the major contributors going forward. So if you are interested in this, if computers interest you, if solving problem interests you, if you want to have very dynamic kind of work which keeps changing, it is not static, so definitely this is a field you must go for. Just like to add what Dipankar was saying about people who have not experienced computer science before, whether they can join this team or not. So most of the engineering begins with the first year where all the bases are covered, and only from second year usually the the real stream based plan goes from there. So definitely anybody who has interest and who has got this physics, maths, chemistry at undergraduate level and interested in engineering and learning more should go for it. And this will be a branch for many years to come. This is one of the hottest branch, and this is continuing to get integrated with biotechnology, with the medical, with other things, and that overlap will continue to increase. So I think it will be the best branch as of now, going, foreseeing the future, whose demand is definitely going to increase.
Thank you. Mr. Suigat Wahdi.
Repeat, please. What is the question?
Anything you can, same question you want to add, that is, what is the main message that you would like the audience to take away? What is the main message for the audience?
message towards the students. If we think about the students only, those who want to study in basically computer science. So I want to say that, or who are studying rather also. So I want to say that you need to be a good problem solver. Only thing, good problem solver. And how to do this? You not only that you need to study or learn a lot of programming languages or a lot of subjects, all these things. No, if you study at least one language, that will be enough also. But how much logically clear you are? If for a given problem, how much ability you have that you can solve this problem. For example, if a student who is not belonging to computer science, who don't know any programming language, but for a problem, he can sort out how to solve this. What will be the steps? So step 1 after step 2. Then if we make this, then we can able to implement this also. Now implementation is the secondary part. Primary part is to form a logic, proper logic, that how to solve this. So go through the problems, various types of problems. There are internet also, you will get from internet various problems given by the various industries also in their recruiting examination. So go through the problems and try to solve it out. That will help you. Okay, no problem. You will be able to technical sound. And next is that those who want to pursue computer science in their academic career or in future, they need not worry about whether they had computer science in their 12th standard or 11th standard or 10th standard at all. Because computer science is a subject basically based on mathematics. If we consider the subject that we have studied, that is the mathematics, and we may not study, that is the logical science. So the mathematics and logical science, these are the two things. So we have already studied some mathematics, most of us in a +2 level. So that is enough to study or to pursue a course in the computer science. Because whenever we will study further in masters or if you do some research over there, then you will see that computer science is basically nothing but some mathematical models. So even we can say more specifically, I can say that today's computer science is more statistics than computer science, because all the mathematical models that we are studying in AI, in machine learning, in big data analysis, all are basically a statistical model and some predictory model. Okay, whether we can predict how much good in our prediction is. So computer science is basically a varying branch, is dynamic branch. It is day by day changing and going from one direction to another direction. We don't know what will the direction after a couple of years forward or future. So you need not worry about the study, whatever you have studied, and that will be enough. Only thing, you have to practice more and more, then only you will be good in your subject. Thank you.
Thank you. So now we are coming to the end of this webinar. So the computer science students and computer science engineering students and who are aspiring for study computer science and engineering, so don't have to worry, just keep trying. So your good times will be coming soon. So now we are, I think this is a fantastic webinar for all the audience. So we are very much thankful to Mr. Vikash Sharma and also very much thankful to Mr. Soikat Fahari. We also thankful all the audience for listening this one and participating in this webinar. Thank you all.